Welcome, dear friend. I'm truly glad you are here with me tonight. Wherever you are right now, lying in bed, resting on a couch, or simply seeking a moment of peace, know that this space has been created just for you. You don't need to rush, you don't need to think ahead, and you don't need to solve anything anymore. For this moment, you are safe, you are allowed to slow down, and you are allowed to rest. I invite you to gently settle in. Let your body find a comfortable position. If your eyes are still open, you may softly close them whenever you feel ready. I will be here with you, guiding you calmly, as if I were sitting beside you in the quiet of the night. This video is designed to be played all the way through, so there is nothing you need to do but listen and breathe. Allow my voice to become part of the silence around you. Before we begin our journey together, I want to welcome you to this channel from my heart. This channel is a place of calm, reflection, and gentle wisdom inspired by Buddhist teachings and Zen stories. If you find comfort here, I invite you to stay with us by subscribing. It helps this peaceful space continue to grow, and it ensures you'll always have a quiet story waiting for you when your mind feels heavy or restless. Tonight, I'm not here to tell you what to believe or how to live. I'm simply sharing a path I walk myself. There was a time when my nights were filled with noise inside my head. Thoughts would repeat, worries would echo, and sleep felt far away. Over time, through stillness, mindfulness, and simple teachings passed down through centuries, I learned something gentle yet powerful. Rest is not something we chase. It is something we allow. As you listen, you may notice thoughts coming and going. That's perfectly okay. When I notice my own mind wandering, I don't fight it. I let the thoughts pass like clouds drifting across a quiet sky. You can do the same. There is no need to hold on to anything tonight. The day has already been lived. Whatever was unfinished can wait until tomorrow. If at any point you feel yourself drifting towards sleep, let it happen naturally. You don't need to stay alert or follow every word. This story will continue softly, even if your awareness fades. I encourage you to keep this video playing until the end, allowing the gentle rhythm of the words to support your rest. Right now, take a slow, deep breath with me. I do this every night, reminding myself that each breath is a small beginning. As you breathe out, imagine releasing the weight you've been carrying, even if you can't name it. I am doing the same, right here with you. This time we share, it's simple, quiet, and unhurried. Nothing will rush you, nothing will surprise you. Together, we will move slowly into calmness, guided by peaceful stories and timeless wisdom. For now, just listen, breathe, and allow yourself to be here with me tonight. As my breathing slows and the world around me grows quieter. I want to share a story that I return to whenever stress feels heavy in my chest. I don't tell this story as something I once read in a book, but as something I lived through again and again in my own way. Every time I need to let go. There was a night when I realized how tightly I was holding on to my worries. I remember lying awake, my body tired, but my mind restless, replaying conversations, mistakes, and fears about things that had not even happened yet. The harder I tried to force sleep, the further it moved away from me. So I did something different. I stopped trying to escape my thoughts, and instead, I sat quietly with them. In that stillness, a simple image came to my mind. I imagined myself walking along a long, quiet path at the edge of a forest, just as evening was turning into night. The air was cool, and the ground beneath my feet felt steady and familiar. As I walked, I noticed I was carrying a heavy bundle in my arms. I hadn't questioned it before. I had been holding it for so long that it felt normal. Even though my arms ached, I looked down and realized the bundle was made of many small things tied together, finished tasks, unspoken words, old regrets, worries about tomorrow, and fears that had no clear shape. Each one seemed small on its own, but together they were exhausting. With every step, my breathing grew heavier, and my shoulders tightened. As I continued walking, I noticed an old monk sitting beside the path. He wasn't looking at me directly, yet I felt seen, as if he understood exactly how tired I was without me saying a word. I slowed down and stopped near him, still holding the heavy bundle close to my chest. He spoke gently, asking me where I was going. I told him I didn't know. I only knew that I was tired and wanted to rest. He nodded, as if this answer was very familiar to him. Then he asked me a question that felt simple but strange. Why are you carrying all of that with you? At first, I didn't understand. I said, because it's mine. These are my responsibilities, my problems, my thoughts. He smiled softly and replied, yes, they may belong to you, but tell me, do they need to be carried every moment? I stood there in silence, feeling the weight in my arms grow even more noticeable. For the first time, I questioned something I had never questioned before. I had assumed that holding on to everything was necessary, that letting go meant being careless or weak. Yet here I was, exhausted, unable to move forward with ease. The monk gestured toward the ground beside the path. For now, he said, why not place it down and sit with me for a moment? I hesitated. A part of me feared that if I put the bundle down, something bad would happen, or I would forget something important. But another part of me was deeply relieved by the idea. Slowly, carefully, I lowered the bundle onto the ground. The moment I released it, my arms felt light, almost unfamiliar. My shoulders relaxed without me asking them to. I sat down beside the monk, feeling the cool air on my skin, noticing my breath become softer. He didn't give me advice. He didn't tell me how to fix my life. He simply sat with me in silence. And in that silence, something shifted. I realized that the stress I had been carrying was not only caused by events in my life, but by my constant effort to control everything. I had been gripping my thoughts tightly, afraid that if I loosened my hold, everything would fall apart. Yet here I was, sitting peacefully, with nothing falling apart at all. After some time, the monk spoke again. "When you walk," he said, "walk with your feet, not with your worries. When you rest, rest fully. The path does not disappear when you pause." I looked at the bundle on the ground. It was still there. Nothing had changed about it. The only thing that had changed was my relationship to it. I understood then that letting go did not mean abandoning my life or responsibilities forever. It meant allowing myself moments of rest, moments where I did not have to carry everything at once. When I finally stood up to continue walking, I noticed something surprising. I did not pick up the entire bundle again. Instead, I untied it slowly, choosing only what I truly needed for the next step. The rest I left behind, trusting that I could return to it later, or perhaps not at all, as this image faded. I found myself back in my bed, breathing quietly in the dark. The tension in my body had softened. My thoughts were still there, but they no longer demanded my full attention. They felt distant, like sounds coming from another room. This is what letting go means to me now. It is not a dramatic act. It is gentle and simple. It is the willingness to set things down, even briefly, and to trust that I am allowed to rest without earning it. As you listen to this story tonight, I invite you to imagine your own bundle. You don't need to name everything inside it. Just notice how it feels to hold it. And then, when you are ready, imagine placing it gently on the ground beside you. You are not throwing it away. You are simply giving your body and mind permission to relax. I remind myself often that stress is not proof of importance. Carrying more does not make me more worthy. Peace does not mean I have failed. It means I have listened. If your mind tries to pull you back into worry, that's okay. I notice it too, sometimes. When that happens, I quietly return to my breath, just as I am doing now. Inhale slowly, feeling the air fill your chest. Exhale gently, letting the weight leave your body. Nothing else is required of you in this moment. The night is long, and rest is patient. Like the monk beside the path, this story is here simply to sit with you, reminding you that you do not have to carry everything all the time. As my voice continues, you may feel your thoughts becoming softer, slower, less demanding. If sleep begins to arrive, welcome it without effort. Let it come the same way you let the bundle fall from your arms naturally, quietly, and without resistance. For now, stay here with me, walking lightly, breathing gently, and learning, moment by moment, how to let go. As the night deepens and everything around me grows still, I return to a quiet truth that Buddhist wisdom has taught me again and again. Deep rest does not come from effort. It comes from understanding. I remind myself of this gently, the same way I would remind a close friend who has forgotten how to relax. I let my body sink into the surface beneath me, knowing there is nowhere else I need to be. I often think about how the Buddha spoke of the mind as something to be observed, not commanded. When I first heard this, it felt strange. I had spent so much of my life trying to control my thoughts, pushing away what I didn't like and chasing what I thought I needed. At night, this habit followed me into bed. The more I tried to force sleep, the more awake I became. Only when I learned to observe, instead of fight, did something change. So tonight, I observe. I notice the natural rhythm of my breath without trying to improve it. I notice the way my chest rises and falls, slow and steady, like gentle waves reaching a quiet shore. Each breath reminds me that my body already knows how to rest. I don't need to teach it. I only need to stop interfering. There is a teaching I return to often, one about still water. When water is disturbed, it becomes cloudy. When left alone, it clears by itself. My mind is the same way. When I stop stirring it with worry and expectation, it settles naturally. This understanding brings me comfort, especially at night when thoughts tend to surface. I remind myself that thoughts are not enemies. They are simply visitors. Some arrive loudly, others quietly, but none of them stay forever. When a thought comes, I don't follow it anymore. I acknowledge it gently, the way I might nod to a passerby on a quiet street, and then I let it continue on its way. There is no need to invite it in for a conversation. As my awareness softens, I reflect on impermanence, one of the most calming truths I know. Everything changes. Every feeling, every worry, every moment of tension will pass. Even this day, with all its weight and unfinished moments, is already fading into memory. Knowing this allows me to loosen my grip. I don't have to solve tomorrow tonight. Tomorrow will meet me when it arrives. I feel gratitude for this moment of rest. In Buddhist practice, gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about recognizing what is present right now. And right now, I have a quiet space, a steady breath, and permission to rest. That is enough. Sometimes I place my attention gently on different parts of my body, not to change anything, but to listen. I notice my forehead and allow it to soften. I notice my jaw and let it unclench. My shoulders drop slightly, releasing a tension I didn't realize they were holding. With each small release, my body moves closer to sleep. I remember another simple teaching. Suffering grows when we resist what is. At night, resistance often looks like impatience, wanting sleep to come faster, judging myself for being awake. Tonight, I let go of that resistance. If sleep comes slowly, that is okay. If it comes quickly, that is okay too. Either way, I am resting as my thoughts slow. I imagine myself sitting beneath a large, quiet tree. There is nothing I need to do there. Leaves fall gently around me, each one representing a thought being released. I don't chase them. I don't collect them. I simply sit, breathing, allowing time to move naturally. This is how deep sleep begins for me, not as a sudden drop, but as a gradual sinking into stillness. My awareness becomes wider and softer. Sounds from the outside world fade into the background, no longer demanding attention. Even my own thoughts become distant, like echoes losing their strength. I remind myself that rest is an act of kindness. In Buddhism, compassion is not only directed outward, but inward as well. Tonight, resting is how I show compassion to myself. I am not lazy for sleeping. I am wise for allowing my body and mind to recover. If a memory surfaces, I don't push it away. I look at it gently and remind myself that it belongs to the past. It cannot harm me now. The present moment is safe, quiet, and calm. I return my focus to the feeling of the bed supporting me, holding me without effort. With each breath out, I imagine releasing another layer of tension. I don't need to name it. I simply feel lighter. My body feels heavier in the most comforting way, grounded and supported. My mind drifts, no longer anchored to sharp thoughts or plans. I think of the Buddha's words about the middle way, neither clinging nor rejecting. Tonight, I practice this with sleep. I do not cling to the desire to sleep, and I do not reject wakefulness. I rest in between, trusting that sleep will arise naturally when the conditions are right. As my breathing deepens, pauses between thoughts grow longer. Silence stretches gently, not empty, but full of peace. I don't need to fill it. I allow it to carry me. If sleep comes now, I let it take me. If it comes later, I remain patient. Either way, I am resting deeply, guided by calm awareness and gentle understanding. As the night continues to unfold, I allow myself to sink even deeper into the quiet space within. I notice how different everything feels now compared to earlier. The sharp edges of the day have softened, and the urgency I once felt no longer has a voice. In this stillness, I return again to Buddhist wisdom, not as ideas to think about, but as gentle reminders to rest by. I remind myself that the mind does not need to be empty to be peaceful. This understanding changed my nights completely. For a long time, I believed that deep sleep required silence inside my head, no thoughts at all. But the more I chased that silence, the louder my thoughts became. Only when I stopped demanding quiet did peace begin to appear on its own. So tonight, I allow the mind to be exactly as it is. If a thought arises, I notice it with kindness. If it fades, I let it go without attachment. I am no longer trying to manage my inner world. I am simply watching it settle. The way dust slowly falls when the air is still. There is a teaching that reminds me not to mistake awareness for effort. Awareness is light. Effort is heavy. When I lie here now, I choose lightness. I become aware of the warmth of my body, the gentle rhythm of my breath, the subtle rise and fall that continues even when I am not paying attention. This simple observation feels like floating. I think about how often I carry the illusion of control into the night. Control over outcomes, over people, over the future. Yet sleep never comes through control. Sleep arrives through surrender. Buddhist wisdom teaches me that surrender is not weakness. It is alignment with reality. And reality, in this moment, asks nothing of me. As my breathing slows, I feel space opening between my thoughts. The pauses grow longer. In these pauses, there is a quiet comfort, like resting between waves. I do not rush to fill the silence. I rest inside it. I imagine my thoughts as leaves floating down a slow-moving river. Each leaf appears, drifts by, and disappears beyond my view. I don't jump into the river. I don't try to catch anything. I remain on the bank, relaxed, simply watching. This image has helped me many nights when my mind wanted to pull me back into activity. Impermanence returns to my awareness, not as a concept, but as a feeling. Sensations rise and fall. Sounds come and go. Even wakefulness itself is temporary. Knowing this brings a deep sense of ease. I don't need to push myself toward sleep. Wakefulness will fade naturally, just as everything else does. I bring attention gently to my body again. My arms feel heavy, warm, and still. My legs sink downward, fully supported. There is no need to adjust, no need to search for a better position. Where I am is enough. My body understands how to let go far better than my thinking mind ever did. Sometimes I quietly remind myself of loving kindness, not directed outward, but inward. I silently offer myself gentle words, the same words I might offer someone I care deeply about. May I be at ease. May I be safe. May I rest deeply tonight. These words are not commands. They are wishes, whispered softly into the dark dot. As I rest here, I stop measuring time. I stop wondering how long it will take to fall asleep. Time loses its meaning when the mind relaxes. There is only this breath, and then the next. Nothing else exists that requires my attention. Another teaching returns to me now, one that speaks of non-attachment. Non-attachment does not mean indifference. It means not clinging. Tonight, I practice not clinging to the day, not clinging to worries, not even clinging to the desire for deep sleep. I allow everything to come and go freely. I notice how this openness feels in my body. There is less tightness, less resistance. My face softens. My tongue rests comfortably in my mouth. Even my eyes feel relaxed behind their closed lids. My whole body is learning the language of rest. If a sound reaches me from the outside world, I don't label it as a disturbance. I let it pass through my awareness without judgment. Sound appears, sound disappears, silence returns. Everything flows naturally when I stop resisting. My breathing grows deeper now, slower, fuller. Each exhale feels like a quiet release, as if my body is gently emptying itself of the last traces of the day. I don't force this rhythm. I simply follow it, trusting the intelligence of my own body. In Buddhism, there is a deep respect for simplicity. Tonight, I embrace that simplicity fully. There is nothing to understand, nothing to achieve, nothing to improve. Rest does not need effort. It needs permission. And I give myself that permission now. Thoughts begin to lose their structure. They feel less like sentences and more like fragments, soft and unfocused. This is the edge of sleep, the place where awareness loosens its grip. I do not hold on. I let myself drift. If awareness fades completely, that is fine. If it lingers a little longer, that is fine too. There is no wrong way to rest. I am exactly where I need to be. I stay here, suspended between waking and sleeping, breathing gently, trusting deeply. In this quiet trust, guided by gentle wisdom, sleep approaches naturally, like a familiar friend arriving without announcement, as my awareness drifts further into softness. I return to a simple story that repeats itself gently in my mind, like a slow lullaby. I don't tell it to remember details. I tell it to feel the rhythm, the calm repetition, the quiet comfort it brings. Each time I return to it, the edges blur a little more. And that is exactly how it is meant to be. I imagine myself walking along a narrow path at dawn. The light is pale and gentle, not bright enough to demand attention. The path stretches forward, but I am not trying to reach the end. I walk because walking feels natural. With each step, I feel the ground supporting me, steady and patient. As I walk, I notice my breath matching my steps. Inhale, step. Exhale, step. There is no hurry. There is no destination pulling me forward. The path accepts me at whatever pace I choose. Sometimes I slow down. Sometimes I pause. The path remains. Along the way, I come across a small stream. The water moves slowly, quietly, without effort. I sit beside it and watch. I do not ask the water where it is going. I do not ask it to move faster or slower. It flows because flowing is its nature. I notice leaves drifting on the surface. One leaf passes, then another, then another. I do not follow them with my eyes for long. I simply notice their passing. When one leaf disappears from view, another arrives. Nothing is lost. Nothing is gained. As I sit there, I feel my own thoughts begin to behave like the water. A thought appears. It drifts. It moves on. Another thought appears. It drifts. It moves on. I do not hold onto any of them. I do not push them away. I let them move as they wish. When I stand up and continue walking, the story repeats itself gently. Step, breath, step, breath. The rhythm stays the same. The world feels quiet, as if it has decided to rest with me. Soon, I reach a small wooden bridge. I cross it slowly, feeling the solid support beneath my feet. The bridge does not ask me questions. It does not rush me. It simply holds me as I pass over it. When I reach the other side, I do not turn back. There is no need beyond the bridge. The path opens into a wide field. The grass moves slightly with the air. I stand still for a moment, feeling the openness. There is nothing to protect, nothing to prepare for, just space. I lie down in the grass, looking up at the sky. The sky is wide and calm. Clouds move slowly, changing shape without concern. I do not name them. I do not follow their stories. I let them pass. This story does not change much each time I tell it, and that is why it soothes me. There is no surprise, no conflict, no lesson to solve. Just movement, stillness, movement again. Sometimes, in the story, I return to the stream. Sometimes I stay in the field. Sometimes I walk the path again. It does not matter. Every version feels the same in my body. Safe, slow, gentle. I notice how my breathing deepens as the story repeats. Inhale, exhale. The pauses between breaths grow longer. The pauses feel comfortable, not empty. They hold me if a thought tries to interrupt. I gently bring myself back to the path. Step, breath, step, breath. The repetition is kind. It does not demand attention. It invites it. In this story, there is no past and no future. There is only the step I am taking now. And then the next one. Nothing else exists that needs me. Sometimes I imagine a small bell somewhere in the distance. It rings softly, once, then fades. After a while, it rings again. The sound never startles me. It reminds me to return to the present. I listen. Then I let the sound go. I walk again. I sit again. I breathe again. The cycle continues. Each repetition carries me deeper into rest. The more I repeat this story, the less effort it takes to follow it. Words soften. Images blur. Sensations become warm and heavy. My body responds before my mind does. I notice my arms resting comfortably. My hands feel loose, open, unguarded. My legs feel heavy, grounded. My face relaxes without instruction. Even my thoughts feel tired, as if they are ready to sleep too. The story repeats itself once more. Paths, stream, leaves, breath, bridge, field, sky, clouds, always the same, always gentle. There is no ending to this story, and that is its gift. It does not need to conclude. It does not need resolution. It continues quietly, whether I am aware of it or not. As my awareness fades, the story keeps walking without me. The path continues. The stream flows. The leaves drift. I do not need to watch anymore. I rest now, carried by repetition, held by simplicity, drifting naturally towards sleep. Without effort, without resistance, without thought, now, as the night deepens and my mind softens, I allow myself to simply be. There is no story to follow, no path to walk, no lesson to learn. There is only the quiet, gentle presence of my own awareness and the soft rhythm of my breathing. I notice how each inhale brings in calm, and each exhale releases tension I have been holding. I do not need to rush. I do not need to force anything. I am safe. I am still. I am here. I take a moment to feel my body fully. My arms rest heavily at my sides. My legs sink comfortably into the surface beneath me. Every small muscle that has carried me through the day begins to relax. My jaw unclenches. My forehead softens. My shoulders drop, releasing even the faintest traces of effort. The weight of the day drifts away, leaving me lighter, more open, more at peace. I do not resist this quiet. I do not question it. I let it simply be in the stillness. I begin to offer gentle affirmations to myself, not as commands, but as whispers of care and kindness. I am safe. I am at peace. I am allowed to rest. I repeat these words softly in my mind, letting each phrase sink deeper with every breath. I am enough as I am. I release what I do not need. I trust myself and the quiet of this moment. These words do not demand my attention. They float gently, guiding my awareness into deeper calm. I imagine the space around me as a soft, warm light enveloping me completely. It does not press or weigh down. It simply holds. I feel the light touching my body, my mind, my heart. I do not need to move. I do not need to act. I simply rest within it, allowing the warmth and calm to flow into every part of me as I continue to breathe slowly and gently. I notice that thoughts may arise. This is natural. I do not resist them. I do not chase them. I acknowledge them briefly and let them drift away, like leaves floating on a quiet river. Everything I release returns to peace. Everything I let go makes room for rest. The quiet stretches between each thought, growing longer, softer, and more profound with each exhale. I imagine tension leaving my body. My shoulders relax further, my chest softens, my legs feel heavier, sinking comfortably into the surface beneath me. With each inhale, I welcome calmness, safety, and gentle awareness. I am calm. I am safe. I am resting deeply. The rhythm of my breath carries me forward, steady and unhurried, deeper into stillness. I allow silence to stretch fully now. No words, no images, no expectations, just the gentle hum of my own presence. And within that silence, I continue to offer affirmations as if speaking to the deepest part of myself. I am enough. I am loved. I am at peace. I deserve this rest. These words do not ask for belief, only attention. They sink quietly into the spaces where tension used to reside, softening them, dissolving them, letting them go. I notice how my body responds to the quiet. My muscles are loose. My mind drifts, not aimlessly, but in rhythm with a natural stillness around me. Every part of me begins to align with the gentle pulse of rest. I feel the day's burdens slipping away without effort, leaving a sense of openness, lightness, and safety. I continue to breathe, slow and steady, feeling the air move in and out, carrying calm and releasing tension. With every passing moment, the affirmations become part of the silence, floating in the background like a gentle song. I am calm. I am safe. I am resting deeply. I am allowed to let go. I trust the night. I trust my body. I trust myself, and in this quiet, I allow myself to drift further, deeper, without worry or need, cradled by silence and carried by the gentle rhythm of my own breath. I rest fully, completely, peacefully. The world outside may continue, but here, now, in this space, there is only calm, safety, and deep, restorative rest. Now, as the night reaches its quietest hour, I remain here with you in the stillness. My voice grows softer, slower, almost merging with the silence that surrounds us. There is no need for words anymore, but I will stay with you a little longer, just to ensure that you feel safe, calm, and fully held in this moment. The world outside has faded, and here there is only rest, only peace, only gentle presence. I want you to know that it is perfectly okay to drift, to let go completely. Sleep does not need permission. It arrives naturally when your body and mind are ready. And right now, you are ready. Every breath you take carries you closer to that soft, deep state where nothing disturbs you, where nothing calls you away. I will not rush you. I will not pull you from this peace. I am simply here, speaking gently, letting you feel supported as you sink further. Take a slow breath in and let it out without effort. Again, inhale softly, letting your chest and belly rise naturally. And exhale, releasing any tiny tension that still lingers. You do not need to think. You do not need to plan. Nothing is required from you now. This, your time, your space, your moment to rest completely. I imagine the gentle glow of moonlight spilling across the surface beneath you. A calm, nurturing light that holds you without pressing. The air is soft, the world hushed. Everything you have carried today can rest too. You are not alone here. I am walking this quiet path with you, but only lightly, without distraction, without drawing attention, just allowing you to remain at peace. If thoughts try to rise, they are welcome to float by like clouds in a wide, calm sky. You do not need to chase them or hold them. They pass gently, leaving the sky of your mind clear, open, and still. In this vast openness, there is nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nothing to achieve. You are already exactly where you need to be. I want you to carry one final awareness with you as you drift. That rest is a gift you give to yourself. Sleep is not a task, not a goal, not a reward. It is the natural unfolding of calm when the body and mind are allowed to soften completely. Let yourself accept this gift now, without hesitation, without expectation. With each breath, imagine yourself melting deeper into comfort, letting the surface beneath you fully support your weight. Arms, legs, shoulders, jaw release their hold. You are heavy, but not burdened. You are light, but fully grounded. You are entirely safe. You are entirely at ease. I will speak softly for a few more moments, giving gentle affirmations that blend with the silence around you. You are safe. You are calm. You are deeply resting. You are allowed to let go. You are held. You are supported. You are at peace. These words are not commands. They are whispers, soft and kind, guiding your awareness into the deepest quiet. If sleep has already begun to arrive, allow it to carry you completely. If you remain partially aware, continue to breathe. Continue to feel the quiet support beneath you. Continue to notice the gentle rhythm of your body. Either way, the night is gentle and you are exactly where you belong. Soon, my voice will fade entirely into the soft silence, leaving you in perfect stillness. You may hear it vanish gradually, like the last ripple on a calm lake, leaving only the quiet and the comforting presence that has accompanied you through this hour. Trust that this calm remains with you even as my words recede. Rest here, now, fully and completely. Let the night enfold you. Let your body sink. Let your mind soften. Let every small part of you relax. You are safe. You are calm. You are at peace. Sleep comes naturally, and it will come. Drift, float, melt into rest. And know that in this moment, everything is exactly as it should be. The world may wait, but you do not need to move. You do not need to do anything else. Stay here, in this perfect quiet, in this soft, deep presence. Sleep and restoration are yours. And as you drift fully into the night, know that you are held, you are cherished, and you are entirely at peace.